I was actually, ironically enough, I was an undecided student at first, and really what led me to figure out what I wanted to do in life was a very slow, step-by-step process of taking classes, seeing what I was interested in college, and then I would say some school-related but outside of class activities, like getting involved in some clubs, and then actually on campus I got involved with orientation and leading some student groups, and that really kind of urged me to get involved in the education process. I don't have a typical day. Anything could happen any day. I do have things scheduled, and they're either I have meetings that day. It could be with students, usually about 15 or 30 minutes long with students, depending on what we're discussing. Sometimes I have parent meetings right before school or after school. I have presentations in the areas of in career development and with scheduling and academics, or just to kind of introductions for the school year with the different grade groups. So I could have a full day of classroom presentations where I'm in front of larger groups, like between 20 and 50, where I could have individual sessions with people, meetings. Sometimes we have evening programs, so it kind of depends on what's scheduled for that day. And then even besides that, if there's a crisis, then I have to be available. So it could drastically change even with what I have scheduled. The positives for me is kind of what led me in this direction is I get to work with students that are planning what they want to do, and whether if it's someone who's very focused and just has those important questions of how do they get to the next step, or if it's someone who maybe is struggling with just general getting through the day, or finding out how life works. Maybe they're not even close to that next that 10 steps away of finding out what they want to do and where they want to go to school. But eventually you can try to be there to help support them and give them information and help them out through those times. So most importantly, I get to work with that age group that I like, which is adolescents through kind of young adult. That's the positives for me. The negatives, with any organization, you have limits. So there are some things that I would like to do, but because of certain aspects of paperwork or what you have to get done, then sometimes it limits what you get to do and what you'd like to plan for yourself. But that's true with any job. Okay, specifically I'm a counselor, but I'm in a unique situation because you definitely have to have a master's in counseling. So you have to go to graduate school because you have to be certified in the state of Michigan. Each state has their own rules, but you can pretty much usually transfer those if you were to move out of state. But you have to be in an accredited counseling program at the graduate level. And then what makes me a little unique is I don't have a teaching certificate. I have a school counselor license. Some districts will hire someone with a license without a teaching certificate, some will not. So it actually depends on your pathway. If you're deciding as an undergraduate student and you're thinking about getting into school counseling or counseling in general, to keep your options open, I would probably suggest to take psychology classes. My undergraduate is in psychology, but you might want to go into the actual education field and get your teaching certificate, because that would lead you to be more more apt to getting interviews, and it looks better as far as this career. If you typically don't like interacting with people, if you're more of like a numbers or data person, or how things work, like theoretical person, then you may not like a full day of constantly interacting with people. And it's not always fun interaction. Sometimes you're with people that are upset or angry at something that we can't necessarily change, and you have to help work them through that situation and help them kind of see a way to adjust what they can and what they have control of fixing. So definitely that would be my advice, is that you like working with people, you're okay with change, you're flexible, Like I said before, with my schedule, it can change in the drop of a dime. So if you're not okay with things being sprung up on you or your day changing just like that, then probably not a good idea. Yeah, definitely working with people and being flexible. That seems, and being able to kind of listen and perceive. You should have good communication skills and be able to help people, maybe guide them through their thoughts, because they may not even know exactly what they're thinking and saying, but if they start sharing with you, then you have to be able to kind of take what they're saying and maybe help them go a little bit further into it. If you can shadow, if you can talk with people, if they're friends of the family or people you know from your history, like going back to your high school and talking with your former teachers or counselors. Get involved in any way you can with actually seeing people that have experienced a little bit more than you have. So even if it's getting involved at school with some upperclassmen to kind of getting a feel for what they've done so far and what they'll be doing in the next year or two, or if it's actually talking with people that are in the career that have done it for 5, 10, 20 years, and they can give you some tips to how things have been and how things are changing, because we always kind of can see into the future a little bit and see how things are kind of being refocused or changing a little bit.